So hi everyone and welcome back, like for the ones that already took or listened to the former webinars. It's the last one before summer and I wanted to talk about the liver because we talk a lot about our hormones, of course, our gut health, our heart, our digestion. But liver, in a way, first of all, we are scared of liver because it's connected, like with too much alcohol, so cirrhosis, and the fatty liver, and maybe having hepatitis, so liver for me, it's like the scary organ, like we know we have one, we know it does something, but it's like, listen, every time I hear something, your liver cancer, or being yellow a little bit, also the dark circles, under your eyes, like when it's there, it's when also your liver, is asking for more love. And I don't want us to be scared of our liver, okay? Because again, as I was saying earlier on off record, this is a seat, this is a place of anger, okay? And the liver is the first draining organ in order to process all of the other ones, okay? So I'm lying in a way because that's not the first one. If you chew your food, this is where it happens first, okay? Like to really digest, okay, all of the minerals and vitamins and everything. But then very quickly, the liver is that huge pocket, let's say, of blood, okay? And it's like, I keep you, I don't keep you, I keep you, I don't keep you, this is too much, this is not enough, like it's like a Chinese passoire, shoot, I forget the word. That's okay. I will get back on that after. But your liver is kind of like the CEO, okay, of your body. And when your liver is unfortunately tired, overwhelmed, like because you are eating way too much, or you are not eating the right way, or you are not processing your emotions as well, especially anger, frustration, and rage, you can see it on your body right away. Like red eyes, liver. Dark circles, liver. Yellowish tone, like of your skin, like liver. When you are more agitated, on the edge, like being on guard, liver as well, okay? So we are gonna dive deeper because, yeah, your liver is quietly but surely running the show every single day, okay? And that almost every symptom maybe you have been trying to fix or to heal might have something to do with it, okay? On how well is your liver functioning. It regulates, it helps your skin, your cycle, your mood, your energy, your relationship with carbohydrates, your PMS, your perimenopause symptoms, your menopause symptoms, your ability to detoxify everything from synthetic hormones to environmental toxins. Because your liver, when sometimes I hate those, when you take an Uber and there is that fucking Christmas tree, like just right, like above the head of your fucking driver, and it smells chemical shit. I don't even know how he can breathe, how he can still be alive. And every time I do my speech as a woman defending my body, do you know that Christmas tree, awful one, is killing you? Yeah, I employ the word killing, okay? Right now, I'm not even sugarcoating anymore. Most of the time, they throw it away or they put it, like it's... But I'm like, listen, even it's for you. Use some essential oils, but stop with those Christmas trees, like, or even, when it smells so strongly, the Clorox or any, like chemicals, perfume, like right away, my body, like, I stop breathing in a way, but I'm trying just to protect my body. And your liver is going to be the first organ detoxifying it. Just for okay? Because all of it passes through your liver. So, how I I've been preparing my webinar for the liver is I'm gonna talk about it at every stage of your life, from your 20s to 60s and beyond, okay? Because every 10 years, like you have to adapt differently, with your liver, okay? And of course, what you can do about it, not with aggressive cleanses or complicated protocols, especially never in summer and winter time, okay? You don't detox your liver during those two seasons. If you want to detox your liver, it's spring and fall. Very important, okay? But again, I will give you food, plants, simple daily rituals that if you would like, like incorporate, to your routine, that your body, will genuinely thank you for. Again, never overwhelm yourself with what I'm sharing with you, okay? You take what resonates, you try one thing at a time, okay? You don't need to do everything at the same time. Very, very important as well. So, what the liver actually does and why it matters so much for women specifically, you will see it's of course connected to our hormones. Then how liver needs shift across each decade of your life, okay, as I told you, from your 20s through your 60s and beyond. Then the 4 key food and herb categories that support your liver health, okay? Signs your body is asking for some liver love right now. And then finally, some simple and practical ways to start today. Okay, so let's begin. So what your liver actually does, okay? It's important to understand why do we have a liver. Your liver performs over 500 functions in your body. It's a lot. We are not going to focus on the 500 functions of your liver in your body. I'm going to pull the most important ones. The first one is hormone metabolism. Your liver is the primary site where your estrogen and other steroid hormones are broken down, okay, and prepared for elimination. When the liver is sluggish or overloaded, estrogen clearance becomes inefficient. And for my woman, this creates your heavy periods. Because it's like you are getting intoxicated by your estrogen. So your PMS are stronger, okay? Your digestion, you are gonna be bloated, like not feeling okay. It's because of that non-clearance of your estrogen, okay? Just for Because when estrogen, like lingers in the body, longer than it should, estrogen dominance. If your estrogen, you have dominance, for sure your progesterone is going to be lower. So again, the famous day 21 of our cycle, for the one, still getting our period, it's when we are so much anxious and sad and depressed. And it's so fun, like even with my bestie, 3 days ago, we were talking about merchandising actually a sweater with day 21. How are you feeling, sweetie? Because that day 21 is my worst nightmare as a woman, honestly. But it's because estrogen dominance, low progesterone. Your progesterone is all about calming yourself, nourishing yourself. There is an imbalance. You are feeling like shit. Like, let me summarize it very quickly. You are not feeling okay. And of course, symptoms. I'm sure it's going to be unfortunately familiar to most women. PMS, heavy periods, breast tenderness. When your breast is tender, it's often a sign of estrogen dominance as well. Hormonal acne, bloating, mood swings, and of course, in the longer term, increased risk of hormone-sensitive conditions. Meaning, it's going to be tough, the premenopause and menopause. But don't worry, we have solutions. So, hormone metabolism. Then, the bile production, okay? The liver produces bile. Bile is just a digestive fluid that is essential for breaking down fat and for escorting metabolized hormones and toxins again out of the body through your digestive tract. Without adequate bile flow, what happens? Fat digestion becomes sluggish. So you know that lovely, like fat, belly fat, when you're like, it feels stagnant, it feels heavy. Yes, it creates dampness. That's what it is. And then, of course, fat-soluble vitamins like D, K, A, and E, they cannot be properly absorbed, okay, by your body. And so hormone metabolites can recirculate in the body. So instead of being eliminated. And this is a much bigger deal, that most people realize, because again, that's your stagnation, that's your, I would say, like sometimes you feel like I'm desperate, of losing that belly fat, or I feel stagnant. It's a lack of bile production. Then there is, of course, the blood sugar regulation, because the liver stores and releases glucose, acting as a buffer between meals. When liver function again is impaired, blood sugar regulation becomes less stable, contributing to what? Energy crashes, sugar cravings, and difficulty, of course, maintaining a healthy weight. Then the liver is also in charge of your nutrition storage. The liver stores iron, B12, fat-soluble vitamins, and glycogen. And it's like your body's pantry, okay? And when the pantry, so when your liver again is disorganized or depleted, your whole body will feel it, okay? And then finally, last but not least, which is highly, for me, connected to anger, it's your inflammatory balance. The liver filters the blood and clears inflammatory compounds. A well-functioning liver is anti-inflammatory by nature. Okay? Tell me how much inflammation you have in your body. I will tell you how much your liver is not doing okay. Okay? A burdened liver contributes to systemic low-grade inflammation, which is unfortunately behind so many of our chronic symptoms women experience today. Bloating, belly fat, feeling heavy, feeling exhausted. So, before, I just want to circle back to TCM. When I say TCM, it's traditional Chinese medicine, okay? Just so you know, spring is a season of liver, okay? That's when you want, to detox yourself after winter. Spring is associated with rebirth, renewal, new movement, okay? Like it's the energy flow, it's a vision, adaptability, and creative force. When liver is stagnant, TCM associated with frustration, irritability, tension, sluggish digestion, and hormonal congestion. In Ayurveda, because I love it too, I don't know if you know your profile, but the liver is deeply connected to Pitta. Pitta is a fire. Pitta is anger more, like it's like taking actions. So Pitta is a metabolic fire that governs digestion, transformation, and hormonal activity. So also this could help you if you would love, maybe to do some Ayurveda diet or lifestyle, or even TCM lifestyle as well. What do we do from our 20s to our 60s and beyond with our liver? In our 20s, it's all about regulation and foundation. The earlier you take care of your liver, the less you are going to suffer with it, like in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, okay? So in our 20s, this is typically, the decade of strong estrogen production, active hormonal fluctuations, and for many women as well, we can deal with hormonal acne and PMS, okay? Because the liver metabolizes estrogen, efficient detoxification pathways are essential. That's why when in our 20s, we are hangover. We're like, I'm gonna drink, I don't care, I can wake up or even not go to bed, like I'm all good. that's true. I've been there, I tried. That's true. You know what? In my 20s, you can drink a lot and you can just sleep an hour and just go back to school or go back to work. But unfortunately, it's going to impact your liver on the long term, okay? So that's why I always say having fun is one thing, destroying your organs and your foundation is another thing, okay? So of course, if you're already in your 20s, you got hormonal breakouts, breast tenderness, irritability, and heavy periods, you can be sure that your liver is not doing right, okay? And what helps, and this of course you can also adapt at any ages, but bitter herbs and greens, arugula, dandelion, radicchio. This is good. It stimulates the bile flow and supports the elimination of hormones metabolites. Also, garlic, onions, eggs, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, they provide the building block, okay, for detoxification, okay? It helps to bind and safely clear estrogen. And then, of course, mineral. Iron, of course, lost it through menstruation, like combined with stress and dietary insufficiencies, can contribute to fatigue and cycle irregularity. That's why I always recommend again, eat red meat. I know there is, it's big, about being a vegetarian and everything, but trust me, my girls, you need your red meat. Alors, a good one, okay? Like not the shitty one. Organic, regenerative, grass-fed. You have force of nature that is good, that you can find at Whole Food, for example. Plus, I know what they make as well. They mix the heart, the liver, and organs together. I swear you cannot taste it, okay? Like, don't worry about that. But for us women, especially in perimenopause and menopause, it's amazing. So I'm not even asking you to buy the liver, at your butcher or the heart. I'm asking you, recommending, okay? Go to Whole Food or just Force of Nature online. The meat is from New Zealand. So of course, like the soils are not depleted as in America, okay? Honestly, it's delicious. You can make some meatballs with parsley and onions, like some turmeric, amazing for inflammation. You can even prepare all of them and then freeze them. I mean, I've been given, that brand to a few of my clients. They like it, okay? So like, that's true, we cannot taste it, okay? And you also have the chicken with also, yes, that's true, all of the organs, if you would like to try. Because organs, they have so much more minerals and nutrients that it's even better for you, okay? Just here, my two cents, okay? I'm not forcing anyone, but it's much better. Okay, so 20s, you establish a strong metabolic foundation, okay? In your 30s, resilience and replenishment. What's going on in the 30s, especially now in our society, it often, brings stress, career demands, pregnancies, postpartum transition, of course, sometimes even miscarriages or abortions. And of course, that mental load, because most of the time maybe you're going to be married or you're going to have a very demanding career or you're also going to travel a lot, like those type of things. There is that stress contribution, like I need to succeed in my life, to succeed in my career, to succeed in my marriage, like so much pressure on our shoulders. So the liver at that moment must now metabolize not only reproductive hormones, but also stress hormones and environmental exposures. And for many women as well, hormonal contraceptives, IUD, birth control pill, etc. So for this decade, but even after I will talk about it, I love glutathione support for the liver. On Instagram now I can see so many advertisements, about glutathione. Glutathione, that's right, it's the liver's master antioxidant. And that glutation is depleted by stress, alcohol, environmental toxins, and poor sleep. Even when you're gonna fly, for me, personally, you should take some glutation for the next 5 days just to help your liver. Why is that? Because at the airport, you have chemicals, smell. You might also be stressed. In the airplane, you also have perfume and everything. I use that one that I like. It's from, can you see it? Code Age, okay? Alors, of course, again, this is a webinar. It's not intended as replacing your doctor, or your functional doctor. So please check with him or her. But I really love it. I love that brand. It's a clean brand as well. So I really like it. There is also the glutation in a liposomal form. I think it's disgusting, but maybe you will like it. Everyone is different. And they give that taste of orange or watermelon. It's just flavor. I don't like that personally, okay? Me also, I want to say, I was born with a non-fatty liver. It's a genetic disease. So my liver needs even more love, if you have met me in person, I have my eyes are often red a little bit, it's because of my liver. So my liver has been my entire life, until now, to really take care of it, because I got no other choices. But glutation for me, after flying, just like a quick detox, if you don't want to take glutation, dandelion. I love that brand. It's Huron Botanicals. They do lovely tinctures, very organic, regenerative plant. You can also just get some dandelion drops, okay? And you can take 15 in the morning and 15 around lunch, midday. Dandelion also helps, to clear your body and detoxify. Especially important when you are traveling, I would say, if you would like also to try, and you will see it will tremendously help you with a jet lag if there is a time difference as well, but also just recovering. Okay, so what helps as well in your 30s? So of course I talk about broccoli, cauliflower. There is the adaptogenic herb Schisandra, Schisandra. It is used in TCM to support the liver chi and resilience. So if you would like to try as well. Again, you are your own medicine woman for your body. Because when you finally, listen to yourself, you will know. You can even do a kinesiology taste, you can hold the packaging of Schisandra and dandelion and be like, is it from my body? I don't know if you've seen that, if your body, go backward, it's a no. If your body goes upward, it's a yes. Just for okay? I know, if you're listening to me, if you're following me, I'm pretty sure, we're on the same page on that, but you can also trust your body's wisdom, okay, as well. So in your 30s, it's all about balancing high output with adequate replenishment, okay? It's really I'm gonna help you as much as possible, because I also know that my life is a bit busier, is a bit crazier, so I'm gonna do my best. Again, we are not here to be perfect, we're just here to be gentle and have a lot of compassion also with whatever we're going through. 40s, I'm in my 40s, transition and preparation. Yeah, transition, because it's perimenopause, which again can start as early as 35, okay? I'm saying to my girlfriends now in my cycle, I only have 4 great days on 28 days. That's amazing to be a woman. 4 days, I'm okay, you know what? I'm all good, but then it's PMS, period, anxiety, you don't know what's going on, ovulation, and only 4 days now. But anyway, we can do better and just take care of ourselves. So, perimenopause typically begins in the 40s, but also again as early as 35. Even so, your cycles still appear regular, okay? And it's not because you're in your perimenopause that you are old and it's the end of the world. I also want to reestablish that it's just part of our body, okay? It does not mean anything. Men, it's andropause, starting more late 40s, even so right now, between you and I have so many girlfriends asking me to help them, sexually speaking, and they're not even 40, okay? So andropause is also beginning, you know, like earlier now. Again, it's stress, huh? It's stress. It's junk food, you know, like it's not taking care of yourself. Huh? We're not talking about men, but I would have things to say. So, what's going on in our 40s? Estrogen and progesterone, they start to fluctuate more dramatically, okay? So some months can be great and some months it's like, what's going on? So you can have symptoms, of course, of like heavier cycles, even so you never had any of them, shorter luteal phases, sleep disruption, and skin changes may emerge, okay? Because again, estrogen metabolism becomes more variable during this time. Supporting efficient liver clearance is particularly important, okay? Very, very important. An overburdened liver in your 40s contributes to estrogen dominant symptoms even more, okay? Even so, estrogen begins to decline. And then it's a confusing and frustrating situation, okay? We want to avoid that, okay? So at that moment, fiber rich, again, broccoli, cauliflower on repeat, my ladies, okay? To help you. There is also the plant, the milk thistle. It's one of the most, you know, researched liver also supportive herbs. That is good, that if you would like to try, you can also take some tea, okay, of milk thistle. And of course, you know, like don't forget about the bitter herbs, you know, as I told you earlier on, arugula. You can also have some kale if you digest, because sometimes kale can be a bit like heavy on the digestion. I love watercress. It's very French. Watercress, you know, I remember, you know, my grandmother, you know, like making salad of watercress. Sometime at Whole Food I can see it, also at the farmer's market, but watercress is good, you know, like for you, if you would like to try. You can also do dandelion salad. Again, I think in New York, upstate New York, you are luckier. In California as well. In Florida, we are lost, you know, in that. But dandelion as well salad is very good for you, okay? And magnesium for mood, sleep, and muscle function. Magnesium, just for you know, magnesium and vitamin C, your body, you know, like drains it, eliminates it. So you can never take too much magnesium or vitamin C. Of course, it can impact a little bit of your kidneys because, you know, you're just going to go to the bathroom more often. But magnesium, take it, ladies. Take it. Alors, you take, I should have brought, I like, the, again, I'm just showing you what I like, then you do. It's pure encapsulation, okay? And it's the glycinate magnesium, okay? For the stress, for sleep and everything. I mean, during my luteal phase, I take 4 pills of magnesium. If I'm going through something more stressful, I can even take 6. You will see how quickly and efficient it's going to change, because whenever we are stressed, we lose magnesium first. So if you are at peace all the time, honestly, like, good for you. I'm very, very happy, a little bit jealous as well. But if unfortunately you are, you know, living in that world, you know, where you have also to do so many things, magnesium, your magnesium can be low, you know, like, so of course you can take it powder, you know, or pill. Don't take those gummies, please. Please, just don't take those. I know it's so cute. Yeah, it's full of flavor. It's full of shit, okay? So powder, you read, you know what is in it, or the pills. So this decade of our 40s is here, preparing the body for hormonal transition, okay? So we need to ensure the detoxification pathways, digestion, and micronutrition status are robust, okay? It's not like that's your last chance, ladies, because that's not true. You know, we can always do better tomorrow, but especially during 40, 42, it's the rehearsal of until 50 years old, you know, of how your body is going to do with your hormones. So I know it's hard sometimes to quit alcohol, to quit coffee on an empty stomach, but if you want to enjoy that chapter of your life, we have to put a few things into places. That's true. You know, like, yeah, we need to be more careful. 50s, preservation and absorption. So this is a phase, early 50s usually, and it depends, perimenopause to postmenopause transition, okay? Estrogen levels decline significantly. Bile composition may change as well, okay? And the bone turnover accelerates. The liver continues to metabolize steroids hormone and produce bile, okay? That's for sure, don't worry. But which is now critical for absorbing vitamin D and K, both essential for bone integrity. I love my vitamin D. I'm glad that I'm here. I love Seeking Health. It's made with olive oil. And it's drops, okay? Because my vitamin D, yes, and I live in Florida, so that's why also I'm highlighting this. I was at 30 in February, which is very low, okay? Ideally, it's 80, okay? Never above 120 because you can also intoxicating yourself. And finally, so February I was at 30. I just did my blood test 2 weeks ago and I was back to 80. Okay, so it's 4 drops. I really love them, you know, very nourishing. Seeking Health. I like it too. Again, ask your doctor, you know, like and everything, just make sure. But I love that one because it's also with K2, which we need even more after 40s, in our 50s and everything. My mother, I've been doing, she's like, my daughter, I'm so much better. So I'm like, okay, mommy, keep doing it. You can also add in your nutrition artichoke. Artichoke, I mean, I'm from Brittany, which is artichoke, you know, like in America, it's hard, you know, to find a good artichoke, to be honest with you. But artichoke is very good, you know, because it maintains a fat digestion and nutrient absorption as well, okay? Dandelion is easier to be found in America, so just do whatever. I love nettle tea, okay? It's full of minerals, so it replenishes also for your hair, your nails, your skin. And there is also the alfalfa. You know, that's a microgreen that you can find again at Whole Food. It's in a little box, you know, like this. You can eat them, you know. It's full of estrogen as well, which is perfect, you know, because we need, if you don't want to do HRT or bioidentical HRT, this also will help you, okay? Better than hummus, because hummus is also full of fat. It's full of estrogen. It's a chickpeas, but it's like more, I would say digestion takes a little bit more time, okay, with hummus or chickpeas, okay? While alfalfa is good, you know, it's also full of estrogen. And of course, you know, like eating healthier, if you really want to have a glass of wine or a glass of champagne, not on an empty stomach, please. And the appetite after 50 is also sometimes diminishes, okay, like more and more. And there is an aversion to proteins. Alors, this, I've not yet experienced it, but I want also to highlight it based on my clients, on my family and my friends. Try as much as possible to eat your proteins, okay? Eggs, duck eggs, fish, shrimps, you know, scallops, chicken, sometimes some meat, you know, like try to find recipes, you know, that you would like, because you need your proteins. We lose the muscles, okay? Straight training, of course, it also helps the liver, very, very important. And also do some, you don't need a trampoline, you don't need that vibrating plate, but just like when you jump, you know, like on your feet, you help the density of your bone, you know, like, and this of course is very important. Again, especially if you don't want to substitute with HRT treatment, which is all good, you know, you do whatever you want, but don't forget about that, okay, to have physical activity as well to help your body. So 50s, nourishment, steady nourishment, okay, you nourish yourself good, digestive support, and protecting long-term metabolic and skeleton vitality, okay? That's your bones, okay? Like, that's always when it happens, a hip replacement, for example, okay? 60s and beyond, it's a gentle daily support. So digestive capacity may naturally decline with age. That's why, you know, we eat less. I mean, my grandfather is 93 years old. It's kind of like we have to force him to eat now, you know? It's like, no, I'm not hungry, you know? Like, I'm okay, you know? Like, oh, you want something sweet, you know? Like, so no more proteins. So, of course, now he has dizziness. So really be mindful of that, okay? Stomach acid and bile output reduce again, you know, like, so of course maybe it's smaller portion, but maybe more often, you know, like you just decide. And the goal here, 60s and after, it's not aggressive intervention, okay? Like it's stupid, but it's maintaining the clarity, energy, and resilience through consistent gentle care, okay? Like that's all. So what helps again, it's everything that I gave you before. Broccoli, garlic, onions, radish, and everything. Proteins support your muscle mass and detoxification pathways that rely on amino acids. Nettles, teas, bone broth. I love bone broth. Light movements, and of course regular rhythms, you know, like whatever works for you. But as you can see, your liver is really gonna be your partner, you know, for your entire life. And it's a first place, you know, that you need. Because if your liver is not doing okay, I can guarantee you your entire system is not doing okay. Period. Like there is no mystery here. Oh, I have digestion, I have bloating, liver. Oh, I have cramp, liver. Also pain in your body, you know, like when it's like, oh my God, you know, I don't understand, you know, like my neck, my back, liver. Liver, liver, liver. Liver is the first draining organ of your entire life. If your liver is not okay, pancreas, lungs, heart, blood system, digestive system, detox, it's not gonna work. Your skin, it's not gonna work. Okay, so just quickly, because I already mentioned this in terms of how to support your liver. But again, I'm gonna say it, mineral rebuilders, okay? So nettle, seaweed. Alors, me, I don't like seaweed. I have to say, it's not my thing, okay? Like, but my little trick, it's when I make soup, when I make quinoa, rice, you know, black eyed peas, you know, very good for dampness and congestion. I put, you know, those dry seaweed of nori, dulse, kelp in the boiling water, okay? I let it, you know, boil. And when it's ready, I just remove it. It does not taste, you know, seaweed, but I know the nutrition of the seaweed went into the water, so went into my rice, quinoa, and everything, okay? Same thing with bone broth. When you want to have an easier digestion, you can also use some bone broth, you know, like why you make, pasta, that's not good, I'm telling you. But I found a very good sourdough pasta. It's from Bio Nature. They are good. I mean, me, I don't digest gluten and everything. They're very good. Bio Nature sourdough pasta, because it was my little pleasure, you know, to have at least, I mean, of course, I put a lot of veggies, you know, in it, but it's delicious if you would like to, if you have any gluten intolerance. Also, parsley, I already say it. Pumpkin seeds, very good as well, you know. Yeah, you can do chia pudding. I don't know if you like that, you know, like chia pudding with hazelnut milk. Avoid oat milk. Oat milk is full of sugar and everything. Hazelnut milk, almond milk, cashew milk, but it's a bit heavy. You put some chia seed, you can put some pumpkin, goji berries. Goji is good for the blood, you know, as beet and everything. And some cacao. Cacao is amazing for the stress. Alors, pure cacao, okay? But it's a very nice breakfast with some raspberries, blueberries, you know, like hemp seed. Or maybe if you don't eat at night, you can have a little snack, you know, at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., you know, like it's very good for digestion and everything. Blood movers. I mean, I was ahead of me, you know, because again, it's very important. Alors, blood movers, if you have painful periods, cold extremities, your hands, you know, like, and your feet, sluggish energy or lackluster skin, you can be sure that your body may be asking for blood movers, okay? Alors, you still have blood in your body, don't worry. It's just like your blood is more stagnant, okay? Like it's more creating, congestion, stagnation. You know those, a spider vein, you know, like, or heavy legs and everything. That's when your blood is not moving. That's why put your legs up for 10 minutes every night before going to bed. Simple. You meditate, you breathe, you know, you just read a book. It's amazing also for your lymphatic system and blood circulation. So the blood movers, beet, everything red. So of course beets, pomegranate. I love pomegranate, you know, like you can put it, you know, on the salad. Turmeric is great. Ginger, rosemary helps to stimulate circulation. And hibiscus. Hein? Alors, hibiscus tea, amazing, especially during summer when it's hot. It helps to cool your body. So again, you can try if you like it. Then, to help detoxify, that's a sulfur squad food, garlic and onions. Okay? And they support also the glutation production. Egg yolks. If you don't digest very well your eggs, because sometimes the white, okay, eggs can be less digestible than the egg yolk, just eat the egg yolk. It's full of choline. It's very good, and essential. The choline is a fat, you know, that is essential for your liver function. So that's why also we say to pregnant women, have some eggs, because it develops the brain. Okay, like even for Alzheimer, Parkinson, and everything, choline, we need choline. Broccoli, cauliflower, all of this is sulfur squad, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. All of this will help you, especially if you have PMS, hormonal acne, or significant, again, environmental or chemical exposure. And then finally, again, as I told you, bitter food, arugula, dandelion, artichoke leaf, lemon and grapefruit as well, and chicory leaf, you know, like if you like it. Alors, in endobiogeny, we give that lemon cure for 21 days. You can do it whenever, you know, you feel that you have a lack of energy, like a lack, you know, of like, oh, you know what, I'm feeling heavy, you know, like everything is heavy. So it's very simple because you don't have to stop eating anything, okay? But it's a little bit expensive in America. I wouldn't say, because I tried. I love it, honestly. I done it in spring and I do it in fall. Day 1, it's 1 lemon. Day 2, 2 lemon. Day 3, 3 lemons. You go until day 10 to 10 lemon. And then day 11, you go back to 9 lemon, and then 8, 7, 6, 5, and in America, organic lemon are very expensive. So if you cannot afford, I would say go until 6 lemon, keep it, you know, for 10 days, and just go back to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What you do, filtered water, okay? You boil filtered water, you cut your lemon with the skin, you keep everything, okay? The skin, the grains, everything. You just cut them in half, you know. You boil the lemon within the water, okay? You let it sit, and then, I need that word, I'm gonna find it, passoire chinoise. I don't know why, but I'm gonna find it right away. It's colander. Strainer. No, strainer. That's the word I was looking for. So Chinese, you don't say Chinese strainer, you say Swiss cheese. Oh, I learned something today. Okay, so you say Swiss cheese. Alors, in French, you are gonna learn something. We say Chinese. I don't know why. So Chinese strainer. But you say Swiss cheese. Okay, very interesting. Anyway, who cares? And then you take your strainer and you filter your water, you know, so then, of course, you know, it will keep all of the lemon. And you do that 21 days. Okay, that's the time of your entire organs to regenerate. Okay, again, because I've done it and I've tried it, at some point, you know, like I was like, I need to buy, you know, 70 lemon, organic and everything. It was way too much, you know, like in terms of spending that much money. And I'm not for it, you know, like whatever, you know, you're trying to do for your body, it should also be, you know, affordable. So if you cannot do it, you can do that, and it will help you getting back your energy and everything. Okay. Again, I'm just gonna say it again, signs your body is asking for some liver love, okay? Because sometimes we think it's your digestion, while actually, again, it starts with your liver. Your body, no matter what, is always communicating with you, but you just need to listen to it, which is most of the time what we don't do. Okay. So feeling heavy or sluggish after meals. low energy in the mornings, especially upon waking up. Skin feeling congested, dull, reactive. Breakouts that seem hormone related. PMS that is intense. Irritability, breast tenderness, cramping, bloating, mood swings, cravings for fresh greens and bitter foods, because that's funny, your body is going to force you in a way, you know what, like I want that, you know, listen to it, okay? When you are craving for fresh greens and bitter foods, go for it. You can be sure your liver is asking you. Cold hands and feet, difficulty digesting fat, okay, as well. Hormonal symptoms that seem to be worsening, heavier periods, all of this, it may just simply be an overburden, overloaded liver. And it's not a disease. It doesn't mean it's broken, you know, it just means you need more nourishment and less food, less load. We also have the tendency to eat emotionally. The famous emotionally eating, you know, like, oh, that's okay, you know, I'm gonna get that little piece of cake. Again, I'm for everything, but smaller portion, especially when you feel heavy or bloated, okay? The good news is your liver is extraordinarily regenerative. You do know that we can cut a part of your liver and it's going to grow back. I mean, how amazing is that? I don't know whoever made our body, but he was a genius, or she was it's a woman. She was a genius, okay? It's so well done. So your liver, again, as any of your other organs, responds beautifully to consistent and gentle care. You can also do castor oil pack, especially, you know, after a heavy meal and everything. It's also very good. Like, I love castor oil pack. Don't do it when you have your period. Just that. But just think about how can I nourish myself, and then of course ask yourself, am I angry? Do I have any residue of anger? You know, like anger, as you know, is a child's emotion, maybe towards your parents, towards your childhood, but this also can, no matter what, the emotional aspect of it, impact your liver as well. Journal, free yourself, okay? Like, scream in a pillow, take a boxing class, you know, like, but don't stay with that anger within you. I hope it has been helpful. I'm gonna open if you have any questions maybe, or if you need a name that I shared with you earlier on. But I really hope tonight you're gonna have some dandelion tea, you know. Not tonight, not actually, because it's too late. You are gonna pee all night long, okay? Like the dandelion, you know, like, so more like 5 p.m. Maximum. Also self-massage, auto massage your belly, you know, your liver. Like, you know, you can just put also you cannot see it, but your fingers under your rib cage, you know, like that's where it is, you know, like just giving it that love. You will see your body will respond to it very quickly. Your body knows, you know, like when you're like, okay, I'm gonna give you some love. So remember, inflammation starts with the liver. Sugar craving starts with the liver. Not feeling okay, exhausted and everything starts with the liver. Your liver needs your love, needs your commitment, and I know you can do it. No questions? All good? So thank you so much for being the one being live with me tonight. I wish you a wonderful summer. And if you have any question, of course, please feel free to send me an email. In the meantime, keep taking care of yourself. Thank you.